You're going to need 4 tiny pots. Mine are 2 inches, a medium pot, and a large pot. You're also going to need a saucer. I cleaned them up, pulled off the price tags, and now I'm going to paint them. I'm using a white chalk paint. It absorbs nicely and dries quickly. Once all the pots are painted and everything is dry, I'm going to start drawing on some details. I'm going to turn these into cows. So I need to make the spots for the cows. And I'm just going to draw those in with a pencil and then paint on some brown paint. You can freehand this, you can get creative and really do whatever you want with these spots. While that's drying, I'm going to grab some rope. This is clothesline from Dollar Tree. You could also use some brown rope as well, whatever you choose. I'm going to tie a knot on one end and trim off the excess. Now I'm going to attach the knot to the top of the smallest pot. Now on the saucer, this is going to be the nose of the cow, so we want to draw and paint some little nostrils. Then on the medium pot, we're going to draw some eyes. I'm starting with a pencil, and then I'm going to go in with black and white paint markers to finish this off. To add ears, I'm using craft foam because this is going to be nice and durable. Now we can start putting this together. So I'm using that really strong craft glue again. This is just like an E6000. It's going to hold everything together and keep it secure. And then on the back, I'm going to glue on the ears. For the arms and legs, I'm going to thread the rope through the whole of the body, tie it into a knot, and use some glue to secure it. And then for the legs, I'm going to glue them to the inside of the bottom. Finally, for the head, I'm going to put this in place and glue it and put something heavy on it to hold it in place. If you want to keep these outside, be sure to spray everything with a waterproof sealer beforehand. Otherwise, these are going to hold up just fine inside.
I took a couple of pots and played with how I could get them to fit together. I would put one pot inside of a larger one and then add the bottom tray and then put another pot on top. Once I determined which my top pot would be, I needed to work on sealing up the drain holes. I used a hot glue gun to seal up the holes at the bottom, but then I was worried that maybe that wasn't going to hold over time, so I ended up taking a layer of Flex Seal and spraying it on the inside as well. I checked to make sure that my pot was watertight, and then I was ready to go. I set everything outside and started to build my fountain. I filled it up with water, and then I decided to add some decorative elements to the outside of my pots. Since I wanted the fountain to work by itself outside and I didn't want to worry about changing batteries, I purchased a solar-powered fountain. I was able to just drop this in place and it started working right away. I wanted to decorate it to go with my fall decor, and so I used some leaves and a few other things just to kind of cover up any rough spots on the pot and to make it look decorative and festive and perfect for my holiday decor. And here's how it looks once I integrated it into my fall decor. You can really decorate this for anything. I think I might do a similar project at Christmas time and use some of that spray Christmas snow kind of stuff to cover the pots and then adorn it on the outside as well. You can really let your imagination run wild. I hope this inspired you to create an outdoor fountain of your own.
We're going to begin with 4 6-inch pots. Then what we're going to do is we're going to spray paint them. So we're going to place some cold glue all the way around the surface of this, and then we're going to take our second pot and stack it just like that. I also painted a version in this gloss green. Now we have some cold glue on top of the buttons, and now we can place them right to the pot. So that is going to simulate our eyes. Of course, this is cold glue, so you do want to make sure it cures for about 24 hours before placing this outdoors. Now we're going to place our second eye, just like so. So for the hair, I have some orange yarn, and I think this would be kind of colorful and whimsical and fun. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take our yarn and we're going to fold it over a bunch of times. So let's just see how long we want our hair to be. And I think that's a good length, about 14 inches or so. Then we can move our pot, and all we have to do is just continue to gather up our yarn, and then we can cut the ends once we're finished. So we're going to want to do this a bunch of times. Once you have your desired amount of hair, you're going to cut it off. And then we're going to cut a length of yarn, and we're going to tie this right in the middle. And that's going to keep all of our hair secured. Now what we can do is we can cut off all of the ends. So we're just going to go throughout and make sure they're all snipped so each hair is individual. Now we're going to feed that yarn through the middle of the head until the hair is just sitting on either end. Now that we have our body in place, all we're going to do is add some of that cold glue to the surface and then place the head right on top with this extra piece of yarn, with the glue in between this to keep the hair in place. We also painted little arms, and we're going to just secure those right to the side and place an arm on the other side. Now we're going to take this adorable dollar store hat and place it right on top to finish off our witch. And I think for $1, that was the perfect finishing touch, as now our witch is complete. And how cute did this turn out, you guys? What an inexpensive project. And here is how it turned out, you guys. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to place this in my home, but I wanted to quickly show you how it looks outside. I think this is absolutely awesome as yard decor. Very inexpensive, very easy to do, and the perfect decoration. So think for other seasons and holidays too. You can do a Santa, you can do a ghost, you can do so many different things.
Grab a few terracotta pots and saucers to make a decorative feature for your backyard or patio. Start by applying clear spray sealant to the 14-inch saucer on both sides. You'll apply 2 coats and let it dry. Then drill a hole into the bottom of the 7-inch saucer and the 6-inch pot. Use a round file to file 4 notches in the lip of the 6-inch pot, making sure that one of the notches is large enough for the fountain cord to run through. Then file 4 notches in the lip of one of the 5-inch saucers and 1 notch in the lip of the 7-inch saucer. Place the fountain pump on the 14-inch saucer and place the 6-inch pot upside down over it to cover, making sure the cord runs through one of the openings. Slide the fountain tubing up through the hole and set it on top of the pot, and seal with the silicone sealer. Let dry overnight. Take the 5-inch saucer with the 4 notches and place it upside down on top of the tubing to cover. Turn the 4-inch pot upside down and place it next to the 6-inch pot. Notch the second 5-inch saucer and place it on top of the 4-inch pot. Place the third 5-inch saucer upside down next to the 4-inch pot. Notch the fourth 5-inch saucer and place it on top. Fill the 14-inch saucer with water, plug in the fountain and turn it on. Turn the saucers as needed to adjust the water flow. Add moss, potted plants, and decorative stones to finish the look, and enjoy your fountain.
At my local Walmart, I picked up a terracotta pot, some paint, and styrofoam balls, and we're going to turn this into some really cool yard decor. And the first thing we have to do is paint our pot. So I'm going to remove the lid and simply just pour the paint right on. Then we're going to take an inexpensive paintbrush and just start painting the pot. We're going to make sure to cover all of the sides. You can leave the inside natural, but we do want to make sure that we have an even coverage and sometimes multiple layers of paint so that we don't see the terracotta underneath. So I did 2 coats of that Kelly green as a base coat, and then we came back in with a lighter green, and that I just used the same Kelly green with a little bit of white, and we drew the belly, and then we also came back in with some polka dots. As you can see, they're not even, they're not precise, but I think it turned out very, very cute. So now it's time to paint a mouth. Now I have some black paint, and then just a more detailed paintbrush. We're going to dip that in. No need to pour this out on a plate or anything. And we're going to paint the mouth. So now I did a second coat, and what we're going to do now is add the little caps on the mouth. So we're going to just take our paintbrush and do 2 little lines. Now we have some pink, and of course we've got to add the frog's tongue. So I'm just going to take our paintbrush, the same paintbrush, a finer detailed one, dip it in the paint, and as you can see, it's going to take multiple layers. Now I have some of these that I picked up from Walmart. These are just smaller styrofoam balls, and they come in all different sizes as well. So we're going to need 2 of them, and we're going to come back to the black paint, and we're going to create a black circle right in the middle. Just like that. Now that we have the eyeballs painted, I'm going to take a little bit of hot glue from my glue skillet and apply it to the bottom of the styrofoam ball. And then right on the top, which happens to be the bottom of the terracotta pot, I'm just going to place it right there. And we'll do the same thing to a second ball and place it right here. And for the final touch, we have a couple black pipe cleaners, and you can find all sorts of pipe cleaners and the cutters we're using today from nicksseasonaldecor.com, and we're just going to snip them about an inch or so long. Now I'm going to take our fake little eyelashes that we just made, and I'm going to place them right above the eyes. So I broke down 1 pipe cleaner, and that is going to be more than enough. We don't really need too many eyelashes, just a few pieces will do. And here's how our terracotta frog turned out, and I absolutely love it. What an easy project, you guys. All we used was 1 terracotta pot, 2 styrofoam balls, 1 pipe cleaner, and a little bit of paint. Some of these ingredients you might already have on home. Thank you all so much for watching. I absolutely love the way this looks in my garden. I'm Nick Creticos of Nick's Seasonal Decor, and you're watching me on Hometalk. See you in the next episode.